Hi everyone, Miss Reynolds here to speak to you about a few things to bear in mind as you prepare to make your subject choices for senior school. Under normal circumstances, of course, I'd be speaking to you and your parents or guardians in the assembly hall and taking questions afterwards. The following slides contain much the same information sent home in mid-December, information that should help guide you towards making suitable decisions for you, and that's really the key here, that you have the information to decide what's best for you to do next. So here we go. Firstly, you have options, lots of options. Some of the options we've discussed in class include returning to school to do A-levels, or a combination of A-levels and a BTEC qualification, leaving school to complete a trade apprenticeship, going directly into employment, or applying to another education provider such as the SRC to do a BTEC extended diploma, or an alternative vocational qualification. At school, options can tend to mean subjects and subjects only. A lot of talk around options might be people just asking you what subjects you're going to do next. Whereas in careers class, we tend to focus on options being the doors your subjects open or potentially close. So when we talk about options, we're thinking of the choices that you make that broaden or narrow your career horizons. That's why they need careful consideration when you're deciding what you're going to do for the next 2 years. Those next 2 years have a direct implication on subsequent years, and that's really what I want you to think about. What should you focus on then? Well, it depends on what you want to do. Because the vast majority of our students apply to university, most of the information presented here considers subject choices in the context of applying for third level education. However, we have looked at alternatives to university in class, and I'll remind you of those again at the end. 3 things then to ask yourself that you'll remember from third year. What subjects do you enjoy? What are you good at? And what do you need? Going with your strengths for 6th and 7th year allows you to target the best grades possible at A-level. They're usually subjects you already enjoy. The other question, what do you need? That one really demands attention. You already know that some degree courses have explicit entry requirements that you must meet. Therefore, it's imperative that you check entry requirements for courses you're interested in. You'll remember we did a task before Christmas on this very thing. I got you to look up courses you were interested in and find the entry requirements, including those at GCSE, not just A-level. So you know where to find this information now. As an example, chemistry and biology are key subjects for applications to medicine, dentistry, veterinary medicine, and pharmacy. Similarly, maths and physics provide opportunities for any type of engineering. Now, does that mean that you can't do maths and a different subject instead of physics, such as technology and design? No, it doesn't. Of course not. Universities set different criteria for entry to their degree courses. That's why it's so important to check what those requirements are, so that you can give yourself the best possible chance of getting the course you want at the university you want. Self-awareness, that is, knowledge of your strengths, as well as what you can improve, combined with your understanding of what is required of you to get into a particular course, are very much intertwined. I encourage all of you to aspire to do great things. But to achieve your aspirations, you need to work towards the career or degree course you have in mind. Aspirations remain elusive when there's no appropriate action taken to attain them. Remember, GCSEs are the only certified qualifications you have when you apply to university. So think about that. You apply in 7th year when you haven't sat your A-levels. GCSEs then are the qualification that universities see. So it's no surprise that offers in the UCAS system, that's for universities in Northern Ireland, England, Scotland, Wales, that such offers are often made with GCSE performance as one of the indicators of academic potential. Medicine and dentistry students are aiming for 9 A grades or above, but typically our students applying to such courses have higher grades than that, and they are not the only courses considered as competitive entry. So let's talk about that next. What do I actually mean then by competitive entry? Well, they're courses where demand really outstrips the number of places available, or where the number of places is capped because of things like obligatory work placements, practical components, or funding. Along with medicine, dentistry, and veterinary medicine, any course at universities such as Oxford, Cambridge, UCL, and Imperial, to name a few, are considered competitive entry. They don't just rely on your exam or assessment results, they also set additional admissions tests and interviews as part of the application process. To be a strong candidate, it's best to prepare from fifth year. Potential Oxbridge candidates should be reading outside the curriculum to expand their knowledge in their subject area of interest. Sixth year is about gaining relevant work experience, investigating degree courses that you're actually going to apply for, or alternatives such as higher level apprenticeships. It's about registering for and preparing for admissions tests. Admissions tests such as UCAT for medicine and dentistry open for registration in May of sixth year, with students using the summer months to study and then sitting the UCAT in late August or early September when they return to school. Admissions tests for Oxford run the first week of November in seventh year. So you can see that seventh year is much too late to decide whether or not to apply to competitive entry courses. The preparation has already been done. The applications have already been completed and sent away early because those particular courses have other elements as part of the process for selection. It's also useful to consider the difference between modular and linear subjects when you're trying to make your final decision. Most of the A-levels we offer are modular, meaning AS contributes 40% towards the overall A-level subject grade. Students studying 4 A-levels in sixth year can drop one at the end of sixth year and cash in the AS grade worth 40%, or maintain 4 A-levels in seventh year if they wish to. Most students will do 3 in total. And it's important to note at this stage that universities in the UK-based system make offers based on 3. In fact, most students would be better served by focusing their attention on 3 subjects in seventh year to ensure the best possible grades. A small number of students electing to apply for high entry courses in the Republic of Ireland will keep 4 to boost their tariff points score. BTECs, while modular, are only accredited at the end of the 2-year cycle, so students considering one of our BTEC offerings in IT or construction should be aware of that and ready to invest in the subject for 2 years. There is no cash-in option at the end of sixth year. Our linear subjects include drama and theatre studies, English language, and psychology. Psychology offers the option to sit an AS exam as a standalone qualification at the end of sixth year. It is as valid as any other AS exam taken at the end of sixth year as part of a modular specification. It is worth tariff points, but as pointed out, it does not contribute to the overall A-level grade in psychology. When it comes to deciding on A-levels, BTECs or a combination of the two, students should understand that BTECs are vocational qualifications. The revised qualifications are a mix of internally and externally assessed components. Universities often set their own entry criteria for the grade they will accept in each module of a BTEC rather than an overall grade in the whole qualification. That's unlike the practice for A-levels, so it's important to note that. They are not accepted by Irish universities, but are accepted by Dundalk Institute of Technology and most universities in the UK-based system. However, that is course dependent. It's imperative to check that a BTEC qualification you're interested in taking is accepted, not just by a university in general, but more specifically for the degree courses that interest you. Let's say, for example, you're interested in applying for physiotherapy and you're taking BTEC construction. That's not going to be viewed as an effective subject choice by a number of universities. And BTECs are not really appropriate choices for competitive entry courses either. Quite a number of our students apply to Irish universities every year through the CIO system. GCSE subjects are matriculation subjects only and not used for performance points. Now, what that means is that students need to have passed English language, maths, and often a modern language at GCSE for entry to the National University of Ireland universities, such as UCD and NUI Galway. The modern language requirement has been dropped for some courses that are almost exclusively maths or science-based, but only some. It has not been dropped for medicine, and students must have passed a modern language at GCSE to apply. The Irish system also considers subjects like computer science and digital technology to fall under the same umbrella, and therefore only credits the highest scoring subject where a student is studying both. The same is true of English language and literature at A level. This makes such a choice redundant for points purposes, so students should be mindful of that if interested in applying to Irish universities. In each case, the subjects are treated separately under the UCAS system and can be studied jointly. Okay, so when it comes to completing your form, remember to place your subjects in rank order based on preference and requirement. We're back to the keywords we started with. What are you good at? What do you enjoy? What do you need? You can choose one subject from Sacred Heart and only one single award BTEC because a number of universities will not accept 2 single award BTECs as part of your overall grade profile. Each year in school, as we get closer to exam season, we hear a familiar phrase. It seems to be repeated by 5th years mostly, of course. I'm not coming back. Because after your GCSEs, that's your choice to come back. It's understandable that 5th years start feeling the pressure of exams approaching when they're doing 10 or 11 subjects. Past paper questions are being done regularly in class. It seems like everything is somehow related to exams, so even the love you had for your favourite subjects could start to dwindle. That is, of course, completely understandable. But it also only lasts usually as long as the exams last. And the fact of the matter is, most of our students do return to school for 6th year. So even if you're uncertain now, please complete your options form anyway and return it. Remember, you don't have to return in August, but at least you have entered your form. We also welcome some fantastic new students who transfer from other schools to study A-levels with us. So be cognizant of the fact that if you don't have your subject option form in, you're effectively not putting down your place for a course, and then if you do decide to return, you may not have a place in a class that you actually wanted. If you are uncertain, of course, and you do want to look at alternatives, then I want to remind you now of those that we looked at in Term 1. The SRC offers a wealth of courses at different levels, such as BTECs at level 3, so equivalent to A-level, vocational qualifications, and trade apprenticeships from level 2. Applications will be opening soon, so please keep an eye on their website. Applications are processed in the order received, and that part's really important, and you need to be alert to that. Ordinarily, you would have time in class to complete your application where you wanted to do that, and you'd have the support to do that, so please be alert to the reminders in Google Classroom and keep an eye on the SRC website. Another alternative is CAFRU, which we looked at also in Term 1. It offers a range of courses relating to land use and technology, horticulture, food and drink manufacture, and applications are already open for further education courses. That's level 3 courses, again equivalent to A-level. They're already open for applications at CAFRU. Both websites are linked again for you on the slide there, and they're also still in Google Classroom for you if you need them there. Hopefully that's given you a few reminders of what you should be thinking about before you decide on your subjects or post-16 pathway. The key focus, as always, is you. Give yourself the opportunity to be brilliant at what you do. Choose your pathway for you. Choose your subjects for you. Check what you need if you have a particular course in mind. Be aware of the implications of your choices on your career aspirations. If you have questions or you want to go over your ideas, you know how to contact me. It's been great to see some of you online and to speak to you as we've wrapped up our guidance sessions. I wish you all the best. Take care of yourselves.